The Krell hegemony had conquered 47 star systems in less than a decade. Their warships, massive constructs of dark metal and pulsing energy shields, had never known defeat. So when the ancient warning buoys at the edge of Terran space broadcast their message, "Turn back. Humanity claims this region. Approach at your own peril," Supreme Commander Vexither had laughed. Humanity. He hissed to his bridge crew, his three eyes gleaming with contempt. The soft skins who barely left their cradle world a century ago. What threat could they pose? The Armada pushed forward, 300 capital ships, each capable of reducing a planet to slag. Vexither had allocated a mere fraction of the hegemony's military might, confident that even this would be excessive. The humans would surrender at first sight, or they would burn. Either outcome was acceptable. On the bridge of the UES Defiant, Captain Penelope Hayes stood with her arms crossed, watching the tactical display as the Krell fleet entered human-controlled space. Her dark eyes were calm, but those who knew her recognized the slight smile playing at her lips. It was the expression she wore before a calculated gambit paid off. "Mum, the Krell have ignored all hailing frequencies," reported Lieutenant David Chen from the communications station. His fingers danced across the holographic interface. "They're accelerating toward New Sarajevo colony." As expected, Penelope replied. "Mr. Chen, broadcast on all frequencies, full translation protocols. Make sure they understand this one." David nodded and opened the channel. Penelope's voice, steady and clear, echoed across the void. "Krell vessels, this is your final warning. Humanity did not place those buoys as decoration. We do not bluff. We do not exaggerate. Turn back now, or face consequences beyond your comprehension." On the Krell flagship, Vexither's laugh rumbled through the bridge. "Beyond our comprehension? We who have shattered the Thornax Collective, who burned the Crystal Kingdoms to ash." He leaned forward in his command throne. "Ignore them. Maintain course. Prepare weapons." What the Krell didn't know what their arrogance prevented them from discovering was that humanity had learned a terrible lesson in their first contact with hostile aliens 60 years prior. The Dracon Imperium had attacked without warning, nearly annihilating the fledgling human colonies. Earth had survived by the narrowest of margins. Humanity had sworn never again. In the decades that followed, humans hadn't just built warships. They had turned their entire region of space into a weapon. "They've crossed the threshold," David announced, his voice tight with anticipation. "All stations reporting ready." Penelope took a slow breath. "Initiate Protocol Achilles." Across a cubic light-year of space, thousands of satellites activated simultaneously. They had been there for decades, invisible to conventional sensors, patient and silent. The Krell had scanned for mines, for weapons platforms, for hidden fleets. They had found nothing. They hadn't been looking for gravity wells. The first Krell ships began to shudder as localized gravitational fields, thousands of times stronger than anything natural, snapped into existence around them. Hulls designed to withstand plasma cannons and fusion warheads crumpled like paper. As the very fabric of space compressed around them, ships collided with invisible walls of warped spacetime. Their momentum converted instantly to catastrophic structural failure. "Report," Penelope ordered. "Enemy formation in complete disarray," David replied, his voice carrying a mixture of awe and satisfaction. 47 capital ships destroyed in the first wave. The survivors are attempting to retreat, but they're caught in overlapping gravity fields. On the Krell flagship, chaos reigned. Vexither gripped his throne as the ship bucked and twisted. Red warning lights bathed the bridge in bloody illumination. "What is happening?" he roared. "Where is the enemy fleet? Where are their weapons?" "Sir," his science officer stammered, "we are the weapons. The humans. They've weaponized spacetime itself. The calculations required, the power generation, the coordination. It should be impossible." "Impossible for you, perhaps," came a new voice over the calm system. Captain Hayes' face appeared on every screen. "You were warned. Humanity doesn't build single ships or simple weapons. We build systems, ecosystems. We turn entire regions of space into extensions of our will." Vexither's eyes widened in horror as understanding dawned. You've fortified an entire cubic light-year." "Just this one," Penelope replied calmly. We have 14 others like it surrounding our core systems. You see, Supreme Commander, humanity learned something important. We don't need to match you ship for ship. We just need to make approaching us so costly that even victory would be defeat. The gravity wells intensified. More Krell ships crumpled, their crews dying instantly as the vessels compressed into twisted sculptures of metal. Others, attempting to jump to FTL, found their drives interacting catastrophically with the warped spacetime. Blue-white explosions blossomed like deadly flowers. We surrender. Vexithor screamed, all arrogance stripped away. Please, we surrender. Penelope's expression didn't change. Surrender accepted. Power down all weapons and engines. You have 60 seconds to comply. Any ship that fails to do so will be considered hostile. David watched as, one by one, the surviving Krell vessels went dark. Of the 300 that had entered human space with such confidence, only 42 remained functional. The rest were debris, warnings written in twisted metal and frozen bodies. Should we escort them out, Captain? He asked quietly. Yes, Penelope replied. And David, make sure every species in the sector hears about this. Let them hear about the Krell Armada that ignored the warnings. Let them understand that when humanity marks a boundary, we mean it. David nodded. Already composing the message that would ripple across known space, the Krell came in pride. They left in terror, and the warning buoys at the edge of Terran space continued their eternal broadcast. Now with the weight of proven threat behind every word, humanity had been underestimated once. They had ensured it would never happen again. The soft skins, it turned out, had teeth made of gravity itself.